right, it's time for Gennady Golovkin to retire from the sport of boxing. Roberto Duran believes that it's time for him to retire from the sport of boxing. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notification. We go live or drop a video, right? Um, so Roberto Duran said he need to hang it up. Now, he said that he didn't anticipate hanging it up. He didn't anticipate it heading into this fight. Obviously, they already ordered the Lara fight. They got 120 days to negotiate. Extension can be given. At the end of the day, why not? Him and Lara make a good fight. It's a winnable fight for Triple G. Lara old as hell. He old as hell. Call it the senior citizen fight. But historically, those ain't the type of tough fights he take. He don't take tough fights. He really don't. I mean, only calculated risk that he took was Danny Jacobs. Because Derevchenko, he tried to duck Derevchenko just as Canelo did, but the zone made him face Derevchenko to keep the IBF over there. So he wasn't even trying to fight Derevchenko his whole career. People talk about the Lemieux fight. That's probably the best victory that he got. He boxed. He didn't get in there and exchange with Lemieux. He got in there and boxed and used his jab and same shit he was trying to do with Canelo Alvarez in the third fight. So I mean, like I said before, man, his career is lackluster. He don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't give a fuck how many world titles he got. He beat one world champion in the ring because Derevchenko never was a world champion. He beat one world champion in the ring, and that was David Lemieux. So Canelo could talk about what champions David Benavidez beat, blase, blah, blase, this, that, and the third. But I mean, Triple G beat fucking David Lemieux. Danny Jacobs, he did eventually become a world title holder. He did. When he fought Danny Jacobs, he was a Reggie belt holder. And I'm just being honest about this, dude. But he should retire. He should retire. He should be ashamed of his career. But everything he looking for in his career is based off financial. He's a mercenary. He's indicative of a mercenary. When you look at boxing mercenary up in the dictionary, is him. It's him. And that's exactly who it is. It's him. He do everything for money. He didn't even attempt to try to be great. At least Canelo attempted. He attempted. He did attempt. Triple G didn't attempt to do a damn thing in his career. But do shit for money. He match made perfectly, and people still defend that shit. Ain't nothing you can defend about Triple G. All that hype he had coming out the amateurs and shit. Y'all talking about Wilder accomplished way more than Triple G in my eyes. Somebody that was working at Red Lobster, working 3 jobs, and hopped into boxing. Triple G had the boxing pedigree. Only moved up. Everything he did in the boxing ring was for the money. Was in Germany the same time as Felix Sturm, Arthur Abraham. Never fought neither one of them. We could just keep going on and on about some of his shortcomings in his career. He wasn't shit spectacular, dude. He didn't take his best win is David Lemieux. And we got to think in mind, David Lemieux was already got knocked out by Marco Antonio Rubio. He was already knocked out by Marco Antonio Rubio. So, let's chew on that for a minute. So, like, he wasn't the first. It wasn't like, he was going blow for blow with him or Curtis Stevenson. Curtis Stevenson never won a real title. Got beat up by Anthony Durrell and Jesse Brinkley and ran back, and started running back down to middleweight and fucking junior middleweight at one point. Proska didn't go on to do anything else in his boxing career. So we can continue to go on and on and on and nitpick and dissect his career. We can. We can. And people gonna say, so you hate. That's the number one thing you say. People say, you hating the box, you hate. Well, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. It's as simple as that. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Nothing is spectacular about his career. He waited until Pavlik reign was over. He waited until Jermaine Taylor. Well, Jermaine Taylor was a little early. I'll give him that. Pavlik, Arthur Abraham reign was middleweight, was over with. Wasn't trying to get in the super smell fight. He wasn't even trying to move up. Think about that for me. He wasn't even never trying to move up. Come on. Everything was basically waiting on a money fight with Canelo Alvarez. And that's what his career is, wrapped up, snug. Of course he should retire. He ain't doing nothing but trying to get a buck off of boxing. Just like a squirrel trying to get a nut. That's all he's trying to do. Trying to get some money. And nothing else. Not legacy, not trying to fight the best, not proving nothing. People go running around line talking about Peter Quillen ducking. Peter Quillen said they offered him $500,000. Al Heyman offered him $1 million to take on Winky Wright. Which one you taking? Straight up lied about fighting Andre Ward, blamed it on his fucking English. Well, Andre Ward too much for me. He said that shit on multiple occasions. Christ, he said that on multiple occasions. Then hey, behind the English barrier, man, get the fuck out of here. You know exactly what you were saying. And the boxing game won't miss him. I won't miss him. Fraudulent. That's what he is. Fraudulent. That's what he is. Fraudulent. They match made his way to the top. And with all that power, all that natural boxing talent and boxing pedigree, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got at the end of the day? He got some titles, but ain't never beat nobody. And the Derevchenko fight was just as debatable as the Danny Jacobs fight. Let's not act like it wasn't. His two best wins were both debatable. And the only reason they gave it to his ass is because Chocolito got his ass whooped too. They couldn't have Triple G and Chocolito losing on the same night. And guess what? People said, well, Chocolito got robbed. He got robbed. And Sir Riverstein came back and knocked his ass out the second time. Ain't no clarity in boxing, bro. Ain't no clarity. None. Ain't no being subjective. Even the vloggers in there, people ain't nobody's objective. Everybody is biased. Everybody high. They do the same. They accuse a lot of these niggas on YouTube doing this. Accuse each other doing the same thing. They accuse each other of doing and being the same thing. That's the crazy thing about it. Oh, you this, you that, you biased, you this, and then they turn around and be biased. And they turn around and be biased. And that's crazy. And they turn around and be biased. And do the same shit. Nobody got no integrity to call a spade a spade. And when they favorite fighter lose, either they hide or some bad news, or they sit there and they try to twist it. Well, this would that happen, this, that, and do, whoop, whoop, whoop. Triple G is as fraudulent as they come. It's probably my 1,000th video saying that and mentioning it. He's a fraud. He's a true mercenary in boxing. He's never had a hunger point where he been hungry like Pac-Man. He had to walk. Everything has been match made and given to him. He never wanted to try to be great. Never moved up. No, he not Hagler. There was no welterweights coming up to fight him. Miguel Cotto didn't want to fight him. Well, no Mayweather coming up to fight him. That's the difference. Hagler had all-time greats come through there. Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard. And it was a European dominant division. He had already got robbed over there, I believe, with a draw for his first title crack. It was 47 fights. Triple G from Europe. What's the fucking problem? Crowd out fight anywhere 54 to 75, and he reneged to say 60 to 75. Or they was going around talking about how they dropped Kovalev with a body shot and that he can beat the light heavyweights and all that shit. Dude ain't never tried to go be great. Never. Never stepped outside his comfort zone except it was for a check on the zone to force him to fight Derevchenko. He thought Danny Jacobs had a weak ass chin and he couldn't do shit. The only reason he dropped Danny Jacobs because Danny Jacobs tried to switch from righty to lefty or lefty back to righty, which that was a fucking mistake, like Nate said. That was a mistake. So I mean, say what you want to say. He should retire. He should retire with shame. He should retire with shame. I don't care what nobody say. All that potential, all that power, all that boxing ability, he never gave a true effort. He never tried to go out his comfort zone and fight somebody like that. He was never going to fight Andre Ward. He was never going to fight Kovalev. He really didn't want to fight Korobov. He never was going to fight a Demetrius Andrade. He never really wanted to fight a Peter Quillen. He never really wanted to fight Sergey Derevchenko. He was forced to do that by the zone. The only reason he fought Canelo was for the money. He fought Derevchenko was forced. He fought Danny Jacobs because he thought his chin was sweet. Out of all the guys, him and Kelly Pavlik the same fucking age. Kelly Pavlik, Arthur Abraham, Felix Sturm. I think Jermaine Taylor might have been around there. I could be wrong about that one. Not the older version of Jermaine Taylor. Sergio Martinez. Then he come over to America when Sergio Martinez started limping and Chavez is out his prime and all that shit when shit is clear. It is what it is. Like I said before, he should retire with shame. A career with so much potential that he lacked to reach it. He lacked the drive to reach it. He just was a mercenary. So thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and the subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notification, increase your chance to get notification. We go live, we drop a video. Financially, want to support the channel, Cash App, $, CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. One time for the one time. Goodfella TV. And let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.